Hare Krishna. Hope you're doing well. Let's get started with this question about, yeah, minimum variance unbiased estimation, which is going to use these prerequisites. Okay, let's get started. In some sense, they've already told you the answer. You just have to connect a piece of theory, and that is whatever estimator is based on the complete sufficient statistic will be the UMVE of its expectation. Essentially, if you have this estimator, let's say T, and it's complete sufficient, and expectation of T is equal to some function of the parameter, then for this parameter, the UMVU, uniform variance, minimum variance unbiased estimator has to be this. Pretty neat theory. And because they've already told you that what is the complete sufficient statistic, you know that you just have to get a function of x order 1, the smallest order statistic, that in expectation is theta square. For that, we first find the uh, PDF of this x order 1, the order statistic, and after we find that using the technique uh, around the CDF or the survival function, which makes it easier to get the PDF. Once we do that, we can play around and get that statistic based on x order 1 whose expectation is uh, is proportional to theta square, right? Now I want to take a moment and point out that here there is an opportunity to build intuition, in the sense that when you have the PDF with you should be able to look at the PDF and have a rough idea of the uh, expectation that is going to come out. So here it's sort of intuitive that when you multiply by y, this y to the power 9 becomes y to the power 8, and when you integrate it, it will essentially give you something in theta. And similarly, and because you figure this out by seeing it, you don't have to do this thing. And you get an idea that it is the square of this variable that will give me something that is in the ballpark of theta square. So looking at the PDF, we should try to get a sense of what's coming next. And once we have that, it's just nice to be careful at the end, because we do get the expectation as this, and maybe in hurry we would just do 4 by 3 multiplied by the square of this. Maybe not everybody, but people like me would do that. So it's careful to note that we are interested in theta square, so everything should be on the other side. And once we take 4 by 3 on the other side, that's when we get the correct answer. That's all. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Now, continuing with what Krishna is telling to Arjun regarding, you know, standing up again on the battlefield, and to the students about sitting down with firm conviction and confidence in the examination, is okay. Sounds brutal, right? Either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. So, over here, obviously, for a students, being killed on the battlefield is this sad outcome of failure, right? Failing in the exam. But look at what Krishna is saying. If you win, if you pass it, you enjoy this earthly kingdom. In this sense, your earthly kingdom is admission into IIT. But even if you do not, if you are attentive in your endeavor and preparation, regardless of your failure, you will get the heavenly planets. For us, think practically. Heavenly planets over here are basically a nice outcome in the future, right? The endeavors of the present shaping a nice outcome in the future. That is the heavenly planets, something in the distant. So the preparation and whatnot done for your IIT jam can be a stepping stone to good performance in ISIM stat. You must be aware about that competitive exam. And this is a story you may have heard from many students. Didn't make it into IIT jam, revised their failures and mistakes. Wow, solid performance in IIT and ISIM stat. And even if you fail in both exams, as long as you are attentive and paying attention to what you learned from the experience, you can make use of it in the later course of your life. Even though, of course, it would be painful. Being killed on the battlefield is a painful moment. There is no doubt about it. But the experience with obtained with attention in the process, that can help you in your future. That's the failure is not the end. That's what Krishna is coming to. Take care. Hare Krishna.